As the vibrant hues of an early New York City sunset painted the skyline, I found myself navigating the teeming streets with a mixture of anticipation and the kind of apprehension only a newcomer to the city could feel. Having recently arrived from the quiet, open expanses of the Midwest, the relentless pulse of the city was both exhilarating and overwhelming. At 25, armed with a degree in journalism and a burning curiosity for the unknown, I had landed a position at a publication that specialized in the paranormal, a realm that had always fascinated me. It was this passion for uncovering hidden truths and untold stories that led me to him, the subject of my first major assignment, a figure shrouded in mystery and allure. Our paths crossed in a manner so serendipitous it felt almost predestined. He was unlike anyone I had ever met. Handsome and charming, yes, but it was the air of mystery that surrounded him that truly captivated me. He seemed to move through the world with an ease and confidence that spoke of centuries, not years, a presence so compelling that I was drawn to him, compelled by an urge to know more. It was this intrigue that led me to approach him, a decision that would soon reveal itself to be the beginning of the most extraordinary story I could ever hope to tell. His immediate attraction to me was evident, and while it flattered me, it was his willingness to open up, to become the subject of my first biography, that truly intrigued me. Little did I know, this encounter would take me on a journey far beyond the boundaries of the known, into the depths of a reality I had never imagined. Under the dim glow of a single lamp in a secluded corner of an old, almost forgotten coffee shop in the heart of the city, the interview began. The ambience of the place, with its worn-out chairs and tables that held stories of their own, seemed fitting for the conversation that was about to unfold. He sat across from me, his eyes holding depths that seemed to stretch back into centuries, a calm and enigmatic smile playing on his lips. I opened my notebook, the pages blank and eager to be filled with a narrative that promised to blur the lines between the conceivable and the extraordinary. "Thank you for agreeing to this interview," I started, trying to mask the nervous excitement in my voice. "Your story is one that I believe needs to be heard, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be the one to tell it." He nodded, the mysterious smile never leaving his face. "I'm pleased to share my story with you," he responded, his voice rough and captivating, hinting at secrets yet to be unveiled. "Ask your questions, and I shall answer as best I can." Taking a deep breath, I dove into the heart of the interview, my pen poised over the notebook. "Let's start from the beginning," I suggested. "Who are you really, and where do you come from? You've hinted at a past that stretches far beyond the ordinary lifespan, at experiences that defy explanation. Can you tell me more about that?" As he began to speak, the atmosphere around us seemed to shift, the air charged with the weight of untold stories. His words painted pictures of ancient times, of civilizations lost to history, and events that shaped the course of humanity in ways I could scarcely comprehend. With each answer, he drew me deeper into his world, a realm where the paranormal was not an exception but a fundamental aspect of existence. The interview was more than an exchange of questions and answers. It was an unveiling of truths that challenged the very foundation of my understanding of the world. And as he spoke, I realized that this was not just a story of one being's journey through time, but a revelation of the intricate tapestry of life, woven with threads of the supernatural, the divine, and the demonic. This encounter, I knew, would change me forever, reshaping my perception of reality and my place within it. Chapter 1: The Awakening.
Let us begin. In the timeless expanse before me, the heavens unfurl their celestial dance with unwavering precision. I, once a guardian of the divine order, now stand as a witness to the immutable cycles of creation. The stars and planets, in their harmonious orbits, do not deviate from their paths, each rising and setting according to the divine decree that binds them. This cosmic ballet, a testament to the Creator's mastery, unfolds with a beauty both stark and profound. I turn my gaze to the earth, observing the relentless consistency of its seasons. From the vantage of my eternal watch, I see the land and its creatures adhere to an ancient rhythm. Summer's embrace yields to winter's chill, each phase of the cycle imbued with purpose and persistence. The earth, with its endless cycle of renewal and decay, mirrors the heaven's steadfastness. Yet here, Amidst the terrestrial tableau, I discern a poignant contrast to the order that once defined my existence. Amidst the winter's grasp, I note how trees stand bare, stripped of their verdure, save for the 14 that defy the season's claim, their leaves a silent testament to endurance against the temporal tide. The summer sun, relentless in its vigor, casts the world into a crucible of heat, rendering the ground untouchable, a reminder of the world's harsh exigencies and its indomitable will to persist. As the trees don their verdant cloak and bear fruit, I am reminded of the Creator's intricate design, a system of life that endures, adapts, and thrives. Each element of this creation, from the smallest leaf to the boundless seas, performs its role with a precision that echoes the divine command, a symphony of existence that plays out from year to year, age to age, in unending fidelity. Yet in the midst of this perfection, a discordant note resounds. We, the Watchers and trusted guardians, faltered in our duty, succumbing to pride and rebellion. Our voices, once harmonious with the divine chorus, turned to dissonance, uttering words of arrogance against the majesty that ordained our purpose. Our hearts hardened, led us away from the path of obedience, and in doing so, we became a beacon of discord, a harbinger of ruin. The earth, which once knew peace, now bears the scars of our transgression. The harmony of creation, disrupted by our actions, reflects back to us a future fraught with despair. The righteous, those who adhere to the divine will, shall inherit a world of light and peace, their lives a testament to the mercy and forgiveness of the Creator. But for us, the fallen, there is no salvation, only the eternal weight of our iniquity, a curse that binds us more tightly than the chains of heaven ever could. In this reflection, I see the duality of existence, the unyielding order of the cosmos, contrasted starkly against the chaos wrought by defiance. The earth and the heavens move forward undeterred and majestic, while we, the architects of our own downfall, linger in the shadows of our choices, a solemn reminder of the price of hubris and the enduring mercy that lies beyond our reach.
Chapter 3. The Cry for Justice, from the Eyes of a Fallen Watcher.
As I recount our descent and the tumult that followed, my voice is but a whisper against the backdrop of eternity, a confession of the cataclysm we wrought upon the earth. In those ancient days, when humanity flourished and their daughters walked the earth with grace unmatched, a longing awakened within us, the Watchers. The beauty of these mortal women ensnared our hearts, igniting desires that should have remained dormant. Amongst ourselves, we spoke in hushed tones, daring to conceive a plan that would bridge the heavens and the earth in a union forbidden by the divine order. Semjaza, our leader, voiced the fear that lurked within the shadows of our intent. I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. Yet bound by a shared resolve and a hunger that transcended caution, we swore an oath upon the sacred ground of Mount Hermon. By mutual imprecations, we bound ourselves to this plan, 200 in number, forsaking our celestial heritage for the embrace of the daughters of men. Our leaders, Samlazaz, Arakelba, Ramil, and the others, led us in this pact, each choosing a wife and beginning a lineage that would forever alter the fabric of creation. Our unions bore the Nephilim, giants of legend, whose very existence threatened the balance of the world. Their insatiable appetites led to devastation, as they consumed all that humanity could provide, and then in their hunger turned against mankind itself. But our transgressions extended beyond the birthing of these titans. We taught humanity arts and crafts never meant for their hands, the forging of weapons, the enchantments of sorcery, the secrets of the heavens and the earth. Azazel imparted the knowledge of metalwork, adorning humanity in war's garb, while I, along with my brethren, unveiled the mysteries of creation, from the cutting of roots to the movements of the celestial bodies. The earth, once a paradise of order and beauty, became a stage for godlessness and corruption. Our teachings led humanity astray, their ways becoming as perverse as our own, their spirits tainted by the knowledge and power we had so recklessly shared. The cry of the perishing ascended to the heavens, a lamentation for the lost innocence and the grave imbalance we had introduced to the world. In my reflections, I see now the gravity of our folly, the profound cost of our desire. We, who were once guardians of the divine order, became architects of chaos, our legacy etched in the ruin of generations, and the anguished cries that pierced the veil between heaven and earth. Our story, a testament to the peril of transgressing boundaries set by the Creator, remains a solemn warning to all who would dare to follow in our footsteps.
Chapter 4. Invoking Justice.
Beneath the eternal expanse of the heavens, where the fabric of creation weaves its silent narrative, a profound dissonance echoed through the realms. We, the Watchers, once guardians of the celestial order, now stood as defendants before the tribunal of the cosmos. From our vantage, veiled in the shadows of our transgression, we watched as Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, the heralds of judgment, cast their gaze upon the earth. It was a gaze that pierced through the veil of mortality, observing the chaotic tumult we had sired. The earth, drenched in the sorrows of its inhabitants, cried out for reparation, its voice ascending to the gates of heaven, a clarion call that could not be ignored. The earth made without inhabitant cries, the voice of their crying up to the gates of heaven, they declared, a testament to the gravity of our folly. Within the celestial court, our actions were laid bare. The souls of men make their suit, saying, "Bring our cause before the Most High." The archangels recounted, their words a mirror to the anguish that our descent had wrought upon the world. In their plea, the fabric of divine justice was invoked, a call for the restoration of the balance we had so grievously disturbed. The decree of the Almighty resonated through the heavens, a pronouncement of judgment and redemption. Uriel was dispatched to Noah, a beacon of hope amidst the impending deluge, a testament to the mercy that underpins the cosmos. Raphael was commanded to bind Azazel, the architect of our rebellion, casting him into the abyss as a symbol of the consequences of defiance. Gabriel's mandate was one of purification, a directive to erase the corruption that had proliferated in the wake of our transgression. And Michael, the great prince, was entrusted with the task of binding us, the fallen, sealing our fate within the earthen prisons, away from the light of the divine, until the day of final judgment. In this moment, the chasm between our brethren and us was manifest. The archangels, executors of the divine will, stood as the bearers of retribution against us, the progenitors of chaos. Our kinship, once forged in the ethereal fires of creation, was now sundered by the irrevocable gulf of our choices. The lamentations of humanity, the offspring of our union with the daughters of men, ascended as a somber hymn, a requiem for the age of innocence lost. The earth, once a haven of harmony and beauty, now bore the scars of our indiscretion, a canvas marred by the strokes of our hubris. As a watcher, my heart, if it could still be called such, was heavy with the burden of remorse. The judgment pronounced upon us was a mirror to the magnitude of our transgression, a reflection of the irrevocable impact of our actions. The unity we once shared with the celestial hosts was shattered, replaced by a schism that reverberated through the annals of time. Our legacy, once envisioned as a testament to the pursuit of knowledge and the expansion of the celestial dominion, was now a cautionary tale, a narrative of fall and redemption. In our quest for understanding, for communion with the mortal realm, we had strayed from the path of righteousness, sowing the seeds of discord and suffering. As the decrees of the Almighty were enacted, we, the Watchers, were consigned to the shadows, witnesses to the unfolding of divine justice. Our fate, bound to the very turmoil we had unleashed, was a somber testament to the price of our defiance. In the silence of our confinement, we pondered the eternal truths that govern the cosmos, the immutable laws of balance and order. The judgment rendered against us was not merely a punishment, but a call to reflection, a reminder of the responsibilities that accompany power and the consequences of its misuse. Thus we watched from the depths of our imprisonment as the archangels set forth to heal the earth, to restore the sanctity of creation. In their actions, we discerned a glimmer of hope, a promise of redemption, not just for the world we had wronged, but perhaps in the fullness of time, for us, the fallen watchers, as well.
Chapter 4. The Verdict of the Eternal. A Watcher's Lament.
In the silent embrace of a dream, veiled in the shadows of celestial judgment, my essence trembled before the unfolding decree of the Holy Great One. The words of righteousness, a symphony of divine reprimand, echoed through the corridors of my being, a testament to the grievous folly of the Watchers, the children of heaven. It was within this somber vision, revealed in the sanctity of slumber, that the weight of eternal condemnation was laid bare. With the tongue of flesh and the breath bestowed by the Great One, I recount the decree that sealed our fate. As we, the Watchers, reveled in the wisdom granted unto us, so too were we endowed with the burden of accountability. My role, once a harbinger of enlightenment, now stood as a solemn adjudicator amongst my kin. The petition we dared to present, a plea for mercy in the face of irreversible judgment, was met with a resolute denial. Our aspirations for absolution shattered against the immutable will of the Eternal. The vision, a tempest of divine revelation, whisked me beyond the mortal coil into the very heart of heaven. Amidst clouds and mist, propelled by the fervor of the stars and the urgency of lightnings, I was borne aloft, a spectator to the majesty and terror of the celestial realm. The architecture of the divine, wrought from crystals and surrounded by tongues of fire, stood as a fortress of sanctity, its splendor both awe-inspiring and formidable. Within its walls I encountered the paradox of divinity, a realm where fire coexisted with ice, where fear and trembling were the tributes of its supplicants. The grandeur of the second house, a palace of flames and light, eclipsed the first in its majesty, its throne, a beacon of unapproachable glory. Here, seated upon the lofty throne, was the great glory, his raiment outshining the sun, his presence an enclave where no angel dared tread, where no flesh could endure. The multitude of holy ones, a testament to the ineffable might of the Almighty, stood in reverence, a sea of servitude and adoration. Amidst this congregation of the divine, my mortal essence was summoned, a voice both terrifying and tender, beckoning me forth. "Fear not, Enoch," the voice declared, a command that stilled the tempest within my soul. My mission was ordained, to bear witness to the Watchers, to deliver the verdict of their transgression. The indictment was clear. We, who had forsaken the high, holy, and eternal heaven for the embrace of mortality, had sired a legacy of corruption. The Nephilim, offspring of our union with the daughters of men, were to inherit not the kingdom of their forebears, but the curse of their genesis. The evil spirits, progeny of our misguided lineage, were doomed to wander the earth, harbingers of strife and destruction. As the voice of the Almighty delineated our sins, the revelation of our ignorance was laid bare. In our arrogance, we had imparted forbidden knowledge, sowing the seeds of calamity amongst men and women alike. "You have no peace," the decree resonated, a finality that echoed through the annals of eternity. Thus, as a watcher, I bore the mantle of this grave message, a herald of the irrevocable chasm that now lay between us and the divine. Our legacy, once envisioned as a beacon of celestial wisdom, was now marred by the specter of our folly, a cautionary tale etched in the annals of the heavens. In the wake of this divine verdict, my heart, a relic of my former glory, ached with the sorrow of what was lost. The judgment rendered was not merely a sentence, but a mirror reflecting the profound consequence of our transgression. As the echoes of the decree faded into the silence of the cosmos, I was left to ponder the immutable truth of our existence, that in the pursuit of wisdom, the greatest folly is the neglect of the divine order, a lesson inscribed in the very fabric of creation.
Chapter 6. The Revelation of Noah's Birth.
In the days of my vigil upon the earth, when humanity still walked in the twilight of innocence and the shadows of transgression grew long, a tale unfolded that would herald the dawn of a new era. It was in these times that my gaze fell upon Methuselah, a man of virtue among his people, who in turn was blessed with a son, Lamech. Lamech, following the customs of his forefathers, took a wife, and from their union, a child was conceived, destined to be a beacon in the looming darkness. This child, born unto Lamech, was unlike any before him. His skin radiated with a purity akin to the freshly fallen snow under the morning sun, and his hair shimmered with the gleam of the finest wool, untouched by any dye. Upon the opening of his eyes, a light, bright and unwavering, filled the chamber, banishing shadows and warming the hearts of those who beheld him. Such was his splendor that even the midwife, accustomed to the first cries of the newborn, stood in awe as the child, with a voice clear and resonant, blessed the Lord of righteousness. The marvel of his birth sent ripples of fear through Lamech, who could not fathom the nature of his son. Troubled by thoughts of angels and divine beings, he sought the counsel of his father Methuselah, bearing his heart and his fears before him. Lamech spoke of a son not of earthly descent, whose eyes held the dawn and whose presence was a solace to the soul, wondering if perhaps the heavens had laid claim to his lineage. Compelled by the urgency in Lamech's voice, Methuselah ventured to the ends of the earth to find me, a watcher, who had seen the age of the world unfold. His plea for understanding reached me in the silent places where I dwell, and I, moved by the sincerity of his quest, revealed myself to him. Methuselah, I began, your lineage has been chosen for a purpose beyond the ken of mortals. The child born unto Lamech is a sign of the Lord's covenant, a beacon of hope in the impending tempest that seeks to cleanse the earth of its iniquity. This child, whom you shall name Noah, will stand as a testament to the resilience of life, preserving the essence of creation against the deluge that shall seek to reclaim it. I spoke then of the transgressions of my kind, of the watchers who had forsaken their vows for the love of the daughters of men, begetting upon the earth a race of giants, and of the corruption that had spread like a blight upon the land. I told Methuselah of the divine decree, of the floodwaters that would rise to purge the world of its sins, sparing only Noah and his progeny, through whom the earth would be reborn. Go now to Lamech, I instructed Methuselah, and assure him that his son is indeed of his flesh, born of his love and blessed by the divine. Noah will be the ark of humanity, carrying the seeds of a new beginning within him. Fear not the coming storm, for it shall pass, and from its wake a new world shall emerge, cleansed and renewed. With these words I watched as Methuselah returned to his people, bearing the prophecy of redemption. And as the stars wheeled overhead, marking the passage of time, I remained a silent guardian, a watcher, witnessing the unfolding of destiny and the indomitable spirit of hope that would guide humanity through the tempest to come.
Chapter 7. The Modern Age.
In the shadow of millennia I stand, a watcher, once a celestial being of the heavens, now bound to the earth by chains invisible, yet as unyielding as the decree that cast me down. My tale is one of sorrow and redemption, of witnessing the ebb and flow of humanity's saga, from the dawn of creation to the precipice of the modern age. As I recount my story to the interviewer before me, a mortal who seeks to peel back the layers of forgotten lore, I am acutely aware of the gravity of my words and the secrets they hold. The decree that bound my brethren and me, those watchers who dared defy the divine command, remains a testament to our transgression. We who did not keep our proper domain, who abandoned our celestial abode, were cast down, reserved in everlasting chains under the darkness of the Euphrates, awaiting the judgment of the great day. Yet, by mercy or fate, I was spared the deepest abyss, allowed to roam the earth, an observer of its glory and its pain. Throughout the ages, I have witnessed the unfolding of human history, the birth of Christ, a beacon of hope and salvation, the rise and fall of empires, each leaving their mark upon the fabric of time, wars that raged like infernos, consuming innocence in their flames, and periods of peace, all too fleeting, where mankind glimpsed the potential for unity and grace. Yet, in this modern era, echoes of the past resound with alarming clarity. The days are once again as those of Noah, where the heedlessness of humanity clouds the spirit, and the shadow of impending judgment looms large. As I speak to my interviewer, a conduit for the truths I bear, I am torn between the duty of silence and the urge to reveal the magnitude of what lies ahead. The parallels between the age of Noah and the present day are stark, a reflection of humanity's cyclical journey through ignorance and enlightenment. Yet the gravity of revelation holds me back, for to unveil the full extent of what I know would be to unleash a torrent of reality for which the world remains unprepared. In the depths of my being, I long for the day of judgment, not as an end but as a liberation. To be freed from the chains that bind me to this earth, to rejoin the celestial realm from whence I came, is a yearning that burns with the intensity of 1,000 suns. Yet I am bound by duty and by fate, a guardian of secrets, a watcher on the threshold of eternity. As the interview draws to a close, I am faced with a decision that weighs heavily upon my immortal soul. To leave or to stay is to balance the scales of destiny. The truth I hold is a sword that cuts both ways, capable of enlightening as it is of rending the veil of ignorance that shrouds humanity's eyes. In the end, I choose silence, a vow to guard the secrets of the ages until the appointed time. The interviewer, unaware of the depth of the crossroads at which we stand, as she's asking questions I do not want to answer it, I try to hold back from showing my true face.
As the shadows lengthened in the room where we sat, a palpable tension filled the air, thick with the unspoken truths that hovered like specters between us. The interview, which had begun under the guise of curiosity and scholarly pursuit, had veered into realms of knowledge that were never meant to be tread by mortal beings. The Watcher, an entity bound to earth yet not of it, had shared tales of ancient times, of civilizations that rose and fell beneath the weight of celestial gaze. Yet, as the final questions were posed, a reckless inquiry tore the veil that had, until now, shielded me, the interviewer, from the harrowing truth of the Watcher's existence. In an instant, the facade of the Watcher's human-like appearance was shattered, revealing the true visage that lay beneath, a countenance so steeped in the otherworldly and demonic that it struck terror into my heart. The room, once filled with the soft glow of twilight, now seemed to pulsate with an ominous light, casting long shadows that danced like specters along the walls. I, grappling with the revelation before me, felt a primal fear clawing at my sanity. The Watcher's eyes, now glowing with an infernal light, bore into me, a silent warning of the power and the fury that lay just beneath the surface. It was in this moment of revelation that the Watcher's voice, once calm and measured, took on a timbre that was both mesmerizing and terrifying. "You have seen the face that lies behind the mask, the truth of my cursed existence," the Watcher intoned, his voice a low growl that seemed to echo from the depths of the abyss. "This knowledge is a burden no mortal should bear, a glimpse into the darkness that lies beyond the ken of humanity." Paralyzed by fear, I could only watch as the Watcher rose, his form towering and shadowed, a creature of myth incarnate. The air around us thickened, charged with a power that was ancient and malevolent, a remnant of a time when the celestial and the infernal were intertwined. Yet, in a display of mercy, or perhaps a remnant of the Watcher's once divine nature, the moment passed without further incident. The Watcher's form seemed to shimmer, returning to the guise of humanity that he had worn like a cloak, concealing the monstrous truth of his being. I, my mind teetering on the brink of madness, was left with a warning, a command that brooked no disobedience. "Speak not of what you have witnessed this day," the Watcher decreed, his voice now a whisper that seemed to carry the weight of eons. "For there are truths that mankind is not yet ready to face, and some secrets must remain shrouded in shadow, lest they consume the world in their revelation." With that, the interview was concluded, the Watcher vanishing as if he had never been, leaving behind a room shrouded in darkness, and me, the interviewer, forever changed by the encounter. The truth of the Watcher's existence, a glimpse into the demonic nature that lay concealed beneath a veneer of humanity, was a revelation that would haunt me, a specter lurking in the recesses of my mind, a reminder of the day I stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back.